Hello and welcome. I'm David Breslow and I want to welcome you to today's mental golf training tip. Today I want to talk to you about a very popular subject and something is written about probably everything that's ever been written about sports psychology or mental game for golf or any other sport, and that is positive thinking. You know, it's funny, and a lot of people don't understand it or don't believe it when I say it, I should say, that when I give a talk to a golf club, I often tell people that if they worked with me or if they went to the Wired to Win program, they would not one time hear me say anything about positive thinking. And I can see the looks on the people's faces when I say that. It's almost like they're scratching their head going, what? How could you not want to help me be a better positive thinker? Well, there's a myth about positive thinking, in my opinion, and this is what the myth is. The myth is that thinking positive is somehow going to help you play better golf. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that being positive is not important. Of course it is. Being positive, and no matter what you do, is important. But for most golfers, the idea of trying to think positive is where the problem begins. For most golfers, it's too much trouble. It's very difficult. Because if you have a history of being negative, then you have this conflict of trying to be positive while you have this history of being negative. Next thing you know, you've got an inner battle going on, which is exactly the opposite of what you want. So, here's what I suggest. Stop trying to be positive. Even think about the phrase I just said, trying to be positive. That's like people trying to relax. I've had clients call me after a while. We're working on some relaxation techniques, let's say, and they'll talk to me about a week later or so, and I'll say, hey, how you doing? They'll say, well, it's okay, but it's not as good as I really want it to be. I'm really working hard trying to relax. And every time they say that, I start laughing. Think about what I just said. Working hard at trying to relax. How can you do that? You can't work hard at trying to relax. You can't work hard at trying to be positive. That very mindset is a belief that you have to battle somehow to try to be something that you may not be in this moment. So here's what I'm suggesting. Stop trying to be positive. Try it at the range. Try it for a few holes. Instead, do this. Focus on what you want. What is it you want? Do you want to feel more relaxed? Do you want to feel more powerful? Do you want to feel more confident? Do you want to take a 7-iron and put the ball 3 feet or 3 inches away from the hole? Whatever it is you want. Focus on what you want. And that's step 1. Step 2, focus on what you have 100% control over. Now, I've heard a lot of sports psychologists talk about this idea of being positive, and I've heard some of them actually talk about being positive is not a good idea, which is fine. I agree. Trying to be positive is where the problem is. Being positive, there's no downside to that at all. Again, the issue is trying to be positive when you have negativity running through your mind, which has been there much longer, probably, than the idea of trying to be positive. So there comes the work. Can you see the conflict? Negative, negative, negative. Oh, I got to try to be positive. Try to be positive. And all of a sudden you got this battle going on while you're trying to hit a golf ball and while you're trying to be relaxed. It simply does not work. So do these two things. Once again, number 1, focus on what you want. What do you want right now? Point number 2, focus on what you have 100% control over at that moment. Once you do that, your mind, body, and emotions slip back into sync. They do this naturally because you're asking your body to do what it can do. When we're trying too busy to be positive, we're trying to ask it to do something it can't do right in that moment. And that's where the rebellion comes in. So I hope